Feel free to enjoy the show. Let me step out of the way. Deborah, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So hello, beautiful audience of Paxton NATV. It's so nice to see Dr. Marnie Hill in the audience, and Eric is here. You're having a rough time at the moment, so stay tuned. I'm sure there are going to be so many things you can draw energy from in the next couple of minutes, and I'm really looking forward to connecting to you guys. So if you have any questions, or if you want to share with me in the chat what's going on and what's on your mind, if you have any questions to what I'm sharing, please go ahead and do so. And I'm just gonna start and talk what we're talking about. Hello. So today's topic I would love to touch on is, as an empath, breaking free of the patterns that are keeping you in low self-worth. Because your self-worth is actually what's at the basis of what you can create in your life or what not. Because you're always only going to create things that you feel you're worthy of. And now, many of you have risen in families where they were empaths from a very early age on. So perhaps you had to be hyper-vigilant in your home. Perhaps you had to read the room and kind of see if the moods were agitated, and then you had to go and soothe perhaps your parents or your siblings, and it was your responsibility very early to connect to other people's emotions and harmonize and balance out their emotions. So what naturally tends to happen with empaths is that their focus is very much fixated on the outside. So what's going to happen if you were born and if you developed a very high empathy, then you can feel what the person opposite of you is feeling, and you kind of, soak in these feelings and emotions, and it makes you feel tense or feel happy or feel scared. So your the feeling that you have inside of yourself was very much dependent on what the person across of you was feeling. So extremely naturally, empaths used to tend to put their attention on what everyone around them is thinking and feeling, because it made them feel safe as a child. But what I need my clients to know, and I work with empaths and we do one-on-one coaching together, and we really go deeply into limiting beliefs and your subconscious, and we dive into the reasons why you have operated the way you have all your life. And what I notice, because throughout the last couple of years, I've coached so many people, and I've started to recognize patterns. So what I recognize very often is that the voices that were the most hurtful, and it can be, growing up with a narcissistic mother or being in a toxic relationship for very long. And commonly in those relationships and situations, those were places where you could not be free, where you as an empath could not be authentic, because it wasn't a safe place for you to show your vulnerable side. So what you've done, you've hidden your real personality, and you've heard criticism over and over and over again. You've been belittled, criticized, attacked verbally. And what happens when empaths grow out of these situations, move to another place, perhaps separate from their partner, what happens is the voices don't stop. The voices keep on and keep on revolving over and over and over again in their own mind, in their own system. So with empaths, very often they feel strongly and they have a huge amount of empathy for the person sitting across of them, but they have a very small empathy for themselves. Because what they're actually doing is they're harming their own system, their own psyche, with criticizing over and over and over again. So these voices like, you're not good enough, you're ridiculous, don't do that, you're going to fail, all of these voices become internal voices that are repeated many thousand times every single day. And of course, throughout the years, if you're programmed like this is going to lead to a very low amount of self-worth. So now you might ask, so how can you help? Like, how can you get out of that cycle? How can you become a cycle breaker and just get out of that toxic cycle of criticizing yourself, being hard on yourself, being empathetic with everyone else except for yourself? So my advice, like for like a session like this, and I just love to connect with you guys here, is you need to disconnect in order to reconnect. What does that mean? It means that all of the voices that you've been hearing on the outside, all of the opinions of other people, all of the energies that have been in your life, all of the pressure that you have felt, all of the must-dos, everything you believe you have to do, you have no choice. All of these things need to be cut out of your consciousness every single day. You need to install something like a self-care routine where you meditate, where you come into stillness, where you disconnect from the outer world to start and build a very fragile connection and relationship to yourself. And what you need to know is there is a huge, if you're an empath, there is a huge amount of inner wisdom that is just sitting within you and waiting for you to discover it. But you're not going to discover it if you're constantly with your focus on the outside world, if you're constantly worrying about what person ABC is going to think of you, what your boss wants, what your husband or wife demands of you, what the children expect of you. So if you find like a self-care routine where you just sit down, where you sit your bum down, I said that last time as well, and just stop what you're doing and drop within yourself, where you tune in to what your voice is saying, where you get super still, because the answers that you're looking for are not to be found on the outside. They're not to be found if you keep on running, if you keep on searching for attention, fishing for like the breadcrumbs of love everywhere, people pleasing on the outside. You're not going to find the answers. The answers come to you when you stop and drop into yourself and realize that the voice that you've been avoiding for so long, the feelings that you have not been wanting to feel, all of these things are actually the exact remedies that you've been looking for. Because there is a huge amount of power in feeling what is. There's a huge amount in self-mastery and emotional mastery to have the courage to sit down and face the emotions that are here right now. And once you can do that, and I know it sounds very difficult, it sounds very tough, but it's a process. And once you're on your path, once you get moving, once you put like one step in front of the other, you will notice that these things are not difficult to handle, but they will give you so much energy. Because all of these things that you've been doing as an empath, criticizing yourself, being scared that no one's going to be interested in you, having a huge heart and wanting to share your love, but finding that everyone kind of takes advantage of you, not being able to set boundaries. All of these things where you've thought these are normal parts of my personality are actually not at all a part of your personality. They're like a trauma response to what you've been through. And you have the power, and as well you have the responsibility to face that and to change it around. And all of these things are found in the path that you're going to walk back into the connection with yourself. So, I hope, let me see in the chat. I'm so happy that you guys are in the chat. Okay. I'm just going to post something in the chat. And I hope that you're picking up what I'm putting down here and that you're understanding what this is about. This is the most important relationship that you will ever have. From the first breath that you take when you come into this life until the last one, you are stuck with this person. And you can see it as a dramatic thing. I don't want to be stuck with this person. I don't want to be stuck with my circumstances. But if you start seeing it as, this is my person, I'm my person, and I'm here to take care of myself. I'm here to take responsibility and pamper my soul and take care that I'm stimulated emotionally, intellectually, that I'm like an inspired person, and that I can walk out into my life and expand and learn from the experiences that I've had. Because this is really what I see with empaths as well. There are those who feel broken, and it's completely normal. Like, the last thing I want to do is say, like, come on, wake up, like, stand up for yourself. Because if you've been through a rough patch, it's so important to let yourself feel the hurt, the heartache. But then comes a point where it's even more important to take responsibility and to start seeing your situation from above and kind of recognizing, okay, I've learned. What have I learned? How can I expand out of this situation? How can I use this fire that I've been going through, that perhaps you're still going through, and come out on the other end more resilient, more soft, more strong, more whole within myself, more loving? And a word that I love more than anything else is soft power. Because do you have the courage to be vulnerable? Are you strong enough to show yourself in all of your vulnerability? Oftentimes, it's exactly the empaths, those people that feel so strongly and have such like intense emotions, that kind of like hide away, block away the emotions because they become too much, and they avoid feeling the pain, they avoid feeling the heartbreak, they kind of look the other way, they distract, they numb the feeling out, when feeling the feeling is the exact thing that is needed in that moment, that is needed when you're hurt, to tune into what your feeling is trying to teach you. And there's always a lesson. No matter how difficult, no matter how huge the hurt, there's always a teaching. And so that's like a super important lesson to learn. I could talk about that for hours on end. If you start taking the perspective that you're safe in your body, you're safe feeling the emotions that come up, and everything that you're experiencing now and that you've experienced in the past is actually not random, but it's a perfect, more perfect than you can ever imagine, orchestration that has led you to the exact point that you're at right now. So to realize and to like come into gratitude and really know that, okay, it's been difficult, but a question that I love to ask myself and that I love to ask my clients when they're going through hardship is, who are you being asked to become? Who are you being asked to become? Because, oftentimes when we haven't had the opportunity to grow up like in an environment where we felt unconditionally loved, where we felt we were safe to show ourselves vulnerably, to make mistakes and stand up again and try out things, when we've never had that opportunity, then sometimes we become adults that are kind of like almost entitled. They almost think that, but I should be happy. It's unfair. I'm demanding to be happy. Why is nobody loving me? Why am I not receiving the relationship, this thing, this milestone that I so deeply desire? It's my time now, and I want all of these things. And I understand that so deeply, why you have these feelings. But you need to know that the universe doesn't see you as weak. The universe doesn't see you as someone who can't take care of her own or his own longings. The universe sees you in your light, And the universe is asking you to take care of yourself, to take responsibility, to recognize that you're in an ongoing co-creation with life, and that the things that you think, the things that you feel, the actions that you take are in direct relation with everything you're going to create in your life. There's nothing separate from that. So a lot of my work as a mentor and as a coach for empaths is actually talking about self-worth, seeing where you're at the moment, what are the truths that you've started to believe in your childhood, later on in life. What do you believe about yourself, about others, and about life? Is life a place that is really on your team? Is life a place that wants to give you everything you want, that is in full abundance? Or is this life a place that is a scary place? You need to hide, you need to work, really your bottom off, and then, at the end of it, there's no reward, and no one is interested in you, no one loves you, you're fighting by yourself. What is your belief about life? And then to realize that your belief about life and yourself and others is not just, acknowledging what's going on. It's not only, hey, but I'm seeing this is what's happening. But it's the very opposite. It's like a command out to life. And life has one word which it can answer to you. If you're going to say things like, life is a scary place, and I really, no one's interested in me, no one loves me, I'm alone, I'm different, it's so dramatic, then life is going to answer, yes. Yes is the only word that life is going to answer with. So if you want to have that belief, life is going to say yes to you. If you want to say, for example, it's been tough, but I want to change, life will respond, yes. I know that I can do it because I feel this inner voice that's telling me I can grow, I can, go beyond, I can outgrow my small self-worth. Life will say yes. So, like realizing that, it's like such an epiphany, because you start understanding that life loves you so unconditionally that it will even let yourself hurt you if that's what you want. No one has to suffer, but if that is your choice, you will, because life will let you. So all of that, and becoming like strong and stable and loving within, and reconnecting to the nature of who you are, and finding an inner peace, even if the outer circumstances are everything but peaceful, because I get that comment all the time. How can you be so relaxed? How can you be peaceful? How can you not see what's going on in the world? Have you not watched the news? And my answer is always the same. If you want to play with the old system, then you go, you watch the news, you judge, you keep on fighting against everything you don't like. But doing that, you will feed the old paradigm. And the new paradigm is not to fight the war, not to fight the chaos, but instead to become the peace that you want to see in the world. Not to judge everyone that you think is mistaking, but instead getting the focus back to you and becoming like a beacon of light and becoming the ripple of light that you want to see in the world. And if you are super honest with yourself and you kind of have a look in your environment, if you have a look at, your relationship with your children, with your partner, with your parents, are there still little wars going on? In these small situations, probably yes. Is there still fighting going on? So for you to become really, to dismantle your arms and just become so peaceful within that you will be the walking peace into your chaos. And okay, you will notice there are red flags out there, but those are not a danger to me. I will be the walking green flag within a bunch of red flags, and that's okay. If you see things that agitate you outside, you will become so rock stable within you that it will not affect you. Because being peaceful doesn't come with the circumstances. You bring your peacefulness into your circumstances. We've got it all upside down. And to start and understand this, that it really is a revolution within. And you really start with yourself. And, I see so many people running around and they spend their whole life hunting the next goal, the next milestone, the bigger car, the better partner, the bigger house, all of the things. And they run and they chase happiness and love and enlightenment and bliss and passion. But the thing is, you can never search and find at the same time. You're either searching or you're finding. You're either like on the lookout for these things and running and, hunting, or you just stop and drop and realize that it's already there. You realize that you've misunderstood. You've misunderstood the assignment. And you've become so anxious and so agitated and so frantic because you're looking all of the time and I want to find it, that you become blind towards the thing that you're looking for. And it might be right in front of you. And you're not seeing it. Eric, your comments are not corresponding to anything I'm saying, so I'm just going to let you comment, but it's super nice that you're here. And yeah. So that is actually really tragic, and that's actually really, really sad when you have so much beauty that is surrounding you and that you could be able to be seeing right now, that you could be able to connect with, that you could be able to take in. But it's not about the chasing, it's not about the hunting, it's not about the running faster, the optimizing of yourself, becoming better, becoming faster. It's about letting these things in. It's about becoming humble and grateful for what's going on in your here and now. It's about really tuning into your heart and the frequency of who you are. And how you do that, and how you really connect to that, and how you let go of like your frantic desires. I really want this. I really want this. So you go into stillness. You connect with yourself, and that starts by breathing. And you think you can control things. You control nothing in your life. And if you surrender and if you acknowledge, I don't control anything, it starts with your breath. You think, hey, I can control my breath. It goes up and down and up and down. Every single breath is unique. You will take in the exact things that you need with every inhale, and with every exhale, you will let go of everything that you need to let go of. And it's different every single time. So you start by breathing and accepting what is, and you tune in, you become super quiet, and you recognize, you just have the willingness to recognize what's already in your life. What's already there? What is there to be thankful for? And no matter where you're standing in your life, no matter what you're going through, there will be things for you to be thankful, to recognize. There is beauty in my life. And when you start to really cultivate this place within you where you feel gratitude, where you feel inner beauty, where you connect to your inner wisdom, this place within you starts becoming so big, so much more powerful than all of the outside. so much more real than all of the voices that have been asking you to adapt, to, become how they want to have you, work the way they want you to work. And when you start really to cultivate that place within that is so beautiful, that is so holy, that is so unshakable, so vulnerable, and so innocent. And there's this light within you, and it's up to you, it's your responsibility to cultivate that light, to think thoughts that, that help this light become larger, to feel feelings that connect you with that light, and to come into presence with yourself. So I think we've covered so many things today. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with all of this content. And Paxton, are you out there somewhere, my friend? There you are.
I am here, my friend, taking notes. Beautiful. Like usual. I'm taking notes like usual.
I love that.
I enjoyed that. A great deal. Thank you, everybody that has passed through. Deborah does have an appointment she needs to keep. We would spend some more time here with you to answer any of your questions. Get your questions ready. I will be doing some things with some of you in the audience to get some information from you for questions that you have for Deborah. Deborah, thank you for doing this morning. Expect to see Deborah on a regular basis here. This is her show, her time. We've never had anyone on the channel come and talk about energy and empaths. She has volunteered to do so. And by all means, let me put this up real quick before you have to go. Please go to her YouTube channel. The majority of her content, all of your content is in German, but she has a program. Please tell people about the program in English. Go ahead, please.
I would love that. Just 2 weeks ago, I launched a program, and it's a mini course, because I do one-on-one coachings, and it's like a big program because, some of the things that I do in my mentoring just need the repetition and the time and, the time to evolve with the process. And not everyone is ready for that. But I have developed, especially for all of these people on TikTok, on YouTube, asking me, don't you have like a small program we can just, get to know you, get to know your content. And throughout the last years, I've recognized that there are really 6 keys that are so super important when it comes to finding ease in your life, connecting to more ease within your life. And I think those 6 keys are so powerful. So I made a mini course out of it, and I kept it short. I could go on for hours, as you know, Paxton, but I haven't, on purpose.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I know. You know me too well. But I've kept it short and simple in this workshop. So you're going to have like 6 modules, 6 video modules, and you're going to have a workbook. And what I say is, marinate in the content. Do it over and over and over again. Go super slow. Do 1 module and then, let it sink in. Take time to digest what you've been consuming. Take it out into your everyday life. Just, connect all of this new wisdom into your life, and it will change you. It will change the way that you perceive your reality. If you've been doing like this personal development and spiritual work for years, you can use this mini course to refresh and just to go beyond and above over and over again. So I just absolutely love this mini course, and I've done it for like a very small starting price point, just for everyone to be able to get to know me without a huge investment, so with a very small investment. So I'm really loving to share that with your audience, and I'm super excited for everyone who wants to join.
Well, we've gone 33 minutes, going on 34, and whatever price you are asking for that program, it is well worth it for you to put the pizza down. Don't go to the movies at least once a year. Take a course that's going to work for you. Eric, thank you for being a loyal program watcher and being for this particular show, being here. Eric Eric thinks that's cool what you just mentioned, and he also says very sweet. He loves it as well. Eric, thank you for being here. Marnie, thank you for being here as well. I'm going to put this up for a second before Deborah goes. This particular show is for you to come in and be heard. All of our shows are like that, but especially if you feel you're connecting with that aspect of being described as an empath. Eric, you mentioned gratitude is the prince of emotion. And of that, I am certain. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for showing support for this new show. He had a rough night last night. Sleep is all out of whack. Make sure
But
you
Eric,
keep.
you know, so many
Go ahead.
empaths and so many spiritual people are feeling these extreme, intense incoming energies at the moment. So you're not alone. Just, you know, stay focused. Try to ground yourself if you can. And I know this sounds like not related, but if you can, go and stand outside barefoot and just stand and feel the ground under your feet. That is so helpful, and you will just connect to the earth and just, you know, be grounded within that, and just trust that the times will get smoother, but at the moment it's super intense. So my heart goes out to you.
All right. Thank you so much, my friend, for there you go. See, if you come to this show, look at that. You get like a free mini little bit of coaching right there, just like that. Eric, thank you for stating your feelings and what you're going through. That's what this show is for you to express your feelings and get some things off your chest. Now, just for the record, Eric, Deborah, nice you both meeting each other. Eric will say a lot of things that's on his mind, as he has right now. so it may seem like he's going in a different direction. Eric, I know you're smiling as I say that. You've been with us for a few years, but thank you for showing support for Deborah. Deborah, we're both going to say goodbye to you guys because Deborah's got other stuff to do. But please stay tuned. Deborah, you'll let me know the next time you're going to be on. I'll let everybody know ahead of time. We'll try to put a schedule together because I know a lot of you have asked for that because you saw the show 2 weeks ago. I think you said, Deborah, right?
2 weeks ago. Exactly.
2 weeks ago. But before we go, I've taken some notes. I just want to run this by. I know some of you, we talk privately, but while we have Deborah here, I just want to do this real quick. You mentioned life will say yes, correct? Just real quick, what does that mean? One more time for everybody, because that's a really great point. Life will say yes.
Absolutely. You know, you can call it the universe, you can call it life, you can call it God, whatever, you know, above power you're going to talk about. Life has only one word it can respond to you, always, and it will be yes. So if you're going to go and think, I'm too small, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, I can't do it, the answer is yes. But not because you're damned and not because it's true, but because that's what you want to believe. And life loves you so unconditionally that it will let you suffer if that's what you want. So it will answer yes. And if you say, I can do it, I want to change things, I want to, you know, grow, I want to expand, I am so lovable. Yeah, I'm so lovable.
Love it.
Yes, you
Okay,
are.
we're gonna have to
Yes,
stop because
sir.
you will both get going. But I got to do one more before you go. You said, okay, so everybody, if you come back to the show, she's gonna get into other things. She's gonna be dropping these little things that you can put it on your refrigerator, put it on a mirror. You said, I'm sorry, I gotta do this to you real quick. Soft something. So I use
Soft power.
okay, real quick
Really?
on that one. That was really good.
Seriously, if you're acting like you're the tough guy, you know, you have like
Okay, there you go.
you have like a very distant, emotional, you know,
Aloof,
bounce
kind of
and
super cool, kind of like don't
super
have.
cool kind of. That's
Yeah.
not strong at all. If you start being vulnerable in a sense of I've been so hurt and I'm hurting, I feel bad and everything. That is vulnerability. That's kind of out there. But if you stand before the world and you're so strong that you can be soft, you can just stand there and say, hey, this is what I want. And if you're not that, that's fine. But this is what I want.
Love it.
That
I
is
got.
soft power.
I got to
Because
do it.
you're not.
I'm
Yeah.
doing a quick recap, everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm teasing you guys to come back for more. But I got to do this one. You said, "Be a beacon of light." Let's end the show on that one. Be a beacon of light. Real quick, what did that mean again? What does that mean again? Everybody, make sure you got your notebooks out. Be a beacon of light.
Well, especially for empaths, it means focus off the abuser, focus off the narcissist, focus off the toxic person. maximum focus and courageous spiritual warrior faces himself in the mirror. And as you do that, you start to transcend all of your wounds. You start to transcend all of the hurt. And you start to concentrate on becoming the light that you want to see in the world. So that's, you start to embody deeper and deeper levels of embodiment, of light, of connection, of stillness. And that's the name of the game, if you ask me.
I told you, you guys are going to like this. I know you can find stuff other places, but you can't find Deborah like you'll find her here. These measured amounts of encouragement, they are exactly the right doses for what you need to make your recovery a real one. And don't get taken advantage by going other places and they take your money and they really are just passing you stuff that you could find free on your own. Come here for free and talk with Deborah. Get her course. And when you get the course, it's an investment in your own emotional stability. So please, you guys come back for her shows. Deborah and I are going to work this out so you see an actual program. It will be in the morning, hopefully still on Fridays. We may even go a half hour earlier. She haven't heard this before, but I just got some stuff coming while the show was going on. But maybe you can get it as your first thing on the East Coast, West Coast in the morning or at lunchtime. So we'll figure it out. Deborah and I, we'll talk later in the week or whatever.
I would love that.
But everybody, we got to go for right now. Thank you so much for doing this. It means so much to me to have somebody finally come on the show and talk about the things you talk about. And you know, passion is important. And sustained passion and emotion is what you bring to this subject. Everybody, tell your friends about this show Friday mornings right here on NATV Network. Okay, everybody, got to go. See you in a few hours for another show. And then later tonight at 7 o'clock, you can catch State of Grace. We'll be engineering that show and producing that show for her on her channel. Talk to you guys later. Take care. See you guys. Thanks, Deborah.
Day.
Much love for you,
Bye-bye.
my friend. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye.